Well, I'm always breaking my tab collector things that I get at the stores, at thrift stores. So I decided to make one. I made one. It's in my other videos for a beer store company thing, and I got to put. I had some extra wood, oak, and then these used to be this size. I knocked it down to 3/4, I think it was, and I got 4 pieces. The plexiglass I was going to put in here, I think it's too thin or too thick to wrap it out here, or like put a notch it down in there and put it in. I think it's too thick. So I have some glass downstairs in the basement, or I can just get some plexiglass, thinner, real thin stuff, because if I use glass, I'll probably break it again. So I'll show you the next step. We'll get on with that. I'm sanding them now, orbital sander. And what I like to do is when you sand stuff like this, I put a little pencil mark so I know which one I sanded already. Because when you start getting through the finer grits, you're going to really know. If you sand that off, okay, I did that side. If you see with this, oh, I got to do that side. So that's what I'm going to keep on going. I got 2 of these done. 2 more to go, then I'll go up to about 220. About I think I'm doing 60 now. I think it's 60 or 80 grit, and I'm going up to 150 and 220. I went and bought a piece of plexiglass just in case it'll be a backup. And I had this already when I was working on the basement windows, replacing them. I had an extra piece, so I was able to cut them down. And I want them slightly smaller than these, to get a little bit of wiggle room. I used the plexiglass as a backup, so I got this. And one thing, you can get some sandpaper, some 100 grit or whatever, and sand the edges down a little bit so they're not as sharp when you're working with them and stuff. It works quite well. That's the only thing that messed up, that little bit right there. Oh well. But on to the next step. All right, now what I want to do, I want to put a little slot in there for the glass to fit in. That's a little high. Whenever I lower or raise this blade, I always go the wrong way. The first time, always. Alright, make sure it's up high enough that it goes. See, I don't want to go too far in, because then it'll hit, you want to go in so far, but not all the way, because that piece will fall out, and you'll hit the other side, it'll fall out. So, I don't want to go in too far. I just want to go in, not halfway, probably like a quarter of the way. Then I'll set my fence to be halfway in, and then, whoa, I'm going to have to do something else here, because it doesn't, it's going to fall down in. I should have I should make a 0 clearance where it's closer to the blade. That way this dang thing won't fall down in there when I'm cutting it. Or I can get another board and put it on top and then just, run it through. Alright, here's my idea. I got it clamped down on there, and all I have to do is run this through and don't have to worry about it going down in that. So run it through and make 2 on each side, huh? All right. See, this is how it's going to go. It's going to go in like that. That's why I wanted it shorter. You're not going to see this. I could probably grind that off or sand it off, and then this going to go here, and so on and so forth. So let's get on with the next step. I have to probably make a little door on this to open and close so you can empty it, because I don't want to be screwing this thing apart all the time. So let's figure out something to put a door on that. Well, the idea I have, use a hole saw, drill it down through there, and then use the ring. I'll have to sand it out a little bit because when you open it, it's gonna, that part down here, the thicker part's gonna hit that door. So I'll sand it a little bit and put a little hinge on there with the latch. That'll work. I'll put rubber feet on there to make sure the hinge doesn't hit whatever you're standing it on. You know what I mean? Alright, I had these in my little drawers. You know, you have those drawers, those cabinets with a bunch of little drawers in them. I think this would work. Got the hinge and the hasp. A little pretty cute hasp. Where's the other part? Oh, there it is. I guess. I don't know. And I was looking at it. I think it will be fine when it opens. It won't. This, I was afraid this part was going to hit here, and it wasn't. And I was going to have to. But no. I mean, it's not going to be big enough for a tab to fall down through there. Yep, just what I was afraid of. See, it does hit that right there. I'll unscrew it and sand that down a little. I wanted it in the center because if it was to one side, it would open. It would miss that, but that's all right. I'll probably just. I'm not going to use a hasp. I'll probably just put a little thing in there that you could twist this way and it'll lock it, keep it from falling open, and then fill that in with some wood putty. Alright, take it apart and do some sanding on her. Alright, let me show you where I'm at. I had to sand that quite down quite a bit, huh? I'm still not worried about tabs getting caught in there. I just wanted it centered a little bit better. I don't know. So I got another piece of wood. I'll drill that out and put a little screw in there. Then it'll twist, you know, it'll lock it. Keep it from falling down. So I had to make another one because it's split. The other one's split. So I drilled a hole bigger than the screw. So it's more you could twist it easier. And that holds it. So, on to the next step. If you ever get this stuff, it's stickers on anything. Wood, glass, anything else. Get a heat gun and just run it across for about 30 seconds to a minute or whatever, and that stuff will peel right off. You won't have to use any chemicals or anything like that. All right. Well, let's see. No. If all of the sides are like that. I mean, I cut them pretty even, so. All right. I just have to. I should have sanded those. I just have to unwrap it. I got some wrap here. I'll put them together, I'll wrap it, then I can mark it where I need to drill the holes and stuff. You know what I mean? Oh man, this is a terrible idea. I should call somebody, huh? Heck with it. I'll get it. As long as I can get it around. There we go. So now what I want to do is mark it where I got to drill the holes down in there, but it's got to be off center from that glass. So I have to make sure I get it out to this corner pretty far, but pre-drill the hole because you don't want that to split. I ended up taking it out and grinding it with my Dremel with the diamond bit, and I made it pretty much a lot better, a lot more even. So all I have to do is mark it on the inside, drill the holes, and screw it in that way, and then screw it in this way too. So I'm drilling both of them at the same time, so. I want these to be fine. I'm gonna countersink them, these heads in there. So, and then I'm gonna pre-drill that. Not as big as this, but just enough for the teeth to grab. So we'll get on with that. Well, I had a small problem. As you can see, I was using the bits are so sharp they grabbed it and pulled the bit down in there, and it broke it off. So and then ship it out here. Yeah, I could probably glue it and clamp it real tight, but I'm just going to make another one and sand it and do all that crap to it too. I'll probably use my Dremel to grind out with one of my bits or something, and then it'll be easier to countersink the head in there. Then I could put a wood dowel over it and sand it flat. Well, let's go make another one. Alright, I got it drilled down in there, the pilot hole. Now I'm just afraid some of these might not be far enough in. I don't know. But I countersunk the heads. I used my Dremel with a, that's a diamond bit, but I did use a little carving bit to carve it out a little bit, then use the diamond bit to get it out all the way. So the head will sink down in there a little bit, down in there, so you won't see the head. And then after I screw that one in, I'll drill this one out, and I'll screw that one in, and keep on going. Alright, got it finally finished. 1.25 inches, and I'm going to own up to my boo-boos. I went to drill down through there, and it went out the side. That's alright, I'll fix it. And it split because I didn't countersink the heads on that one. I just started screwing it in, and it split the side out. So I glued and clamped it. Now I'll just take the glass out and clean it up and put a coat of finish on it. Without the glass, it's a lot easier. So I'll get on with that. Alright, here it is all done. I stained it and I put a couple coats of finish on it, and and I filled in them holes up there with some wood putty. It's not the best, but you won't, I forgot to fill that hole in down there, but you won't see it when I put a couple beer caps in there and tabs like that. But we'll see. Let's take it upstairs and replace the one I have, huh? Yeah, that's the one I was using, so let's get that out of there. And I put these little felt pads on the bottom too. And I figured I had to put a door on the bottom because I'm not shaking all those darn things out of that little hole there. So let's give it a try, huh? Oh, you know what that is, don't you? Hey, it works. All right. On to our next project.